Hidden deep beneath the waves of the Western Pacific lies the Mariana Trench, the deepest point of all the oceans. The first step on the journey of what created this mysterious scar in the Earth's crust.
We know very little about the species that live down there. We know very little about the distribution of the biological communities.
The darkest, deepest place on Earth lies where sunlight never reaches and pressure could crush steel. The Mariana Trench plunges nearly 7 miles beneath the Pacific, a world long believed silent and lifeless. But after being scanned by artificial intelligence, it revealed something no one expected: a sound, strange, structured, and haunting, echoed through the depths. It wasn't a whale song nor seismic activity. It was unlike anything recorded before. Scientists called it the Biot twang, and it came from somewhere no camera had ever seen. What followed wasn't just a mystery. It became a journey into Earth's most alien frontier, a place more remote than Mars, where life has rewritten the rules of biology. What AI uncovered in the trench has changed science forever. This is the story of the sound that screamed from the silence. The Biot twang mystery. In 2014, scientists launched acoustic surveys across the Pacific Ocean, aiming to capture the natural background sounds of the Mariana Trench. They expected familiar audio signatures, distant earthquakes, low whale calls, the subtle noise of the ocean itself. Instead, their instruments recorded something no one could explain. The sound lasted between 2.5 and 3.5 seconds. It repeated, and it had structure. Researchers described it as a 5-part vocalization, beginning with a deep, drawn-out moan, shifting through several tonal changes, and ending with a sharp metallic twang that climbed close to 8,000 hertz. It didn't sound mechanical. It didn't sound geological. It sounded alive. They named it the Biot twang. But the problem was visibility. No cameras captured an animal nearby. No ships reported sightings during recordings. The sound appeared again and again without a source. That ruled out random noise and weakened the idea of faulty equipment. Theories multiplied. Some suggested an undiscovered deep-sea species, one that lived far beyond human reach. Others believed extreme pressure might be twisting geological forces into strange acoustic effects. A few even speculated, quietly, about something not from Earth. In 2016, researchers from Oregon State University compared the Biot twang to known whale calls, especially those of minke whales. There were similarities, but nothing matched completely. No whale was known to vocalize at such depths. For nearly a decade, the sound remained unsolved, a voice from the abyss with no face, no body, and no answer. Deeper than Mars. The Mariana Trench is more than just deep, it's alien. At Challenger Deep, its lowest known point, the pressure exceeds 1,000 times what we experience at sea level. That force would instantly crush a standard submarine. Only highly specialized, reinforced vessels can reach these depths, and even then, only briefly. No sunlight ever reaches the bottom. It's an abyss of eternal night, where the only light comes from bioluminescent creatures flickering in the dark. Water temperatures hover just above freezing, and oxygen is almost non-existent. Food, scarce. Life here depends on marine snow, a slow, steady rain of decaying plankton, fish scales, and other organic detritus drifting down from the surface. It's meager nourishment, but for the life forms that endure here, it's everything. To understand just how unexplored this place is, consider this. While dozens of robotic rovers have traversed Mars, fewer than 25 humans have ever descended to the trench's lowest regions. We've charted alien planets more thoroughly than our own ocean floor. Each attempt to explore it demands years of planning, cutting-edge engineering, and millions of dollars. Inside the trench are massive undersea ridges and steep valleys that isolate life into distinct pockets, giving evolution space to experiment in secrecy. Species grow strange here, shaped by conditions we can barely simulate, let alone survive. Each discovery could be as a glimpse into a biosphere hidden behind miles of crushing water, and every answer reveals new questions. Even in this pressurized darkness, something was producing sound, a call repeating from the depths, a sound that didn't belong to any known creature. As humanity's machines strained to reach these depths, they were met with a signal, one that whispered something was already there. watching. The AI revolution. For nearly a decade, the Biot twang remained an enigma. Scientists had theories, fragments of comparisons, and hours of mysterious recordings, but no answers. Human listening and conventional analysis had reached their limits. So, in a bold move, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, and Oregon State University turned to a new kind of explorer, artificial intelligence. They developed an AI system specifically trained to sift through massive underwater sound libraries. Unlike a human team, which might manage hundreds of hours of audio at most, the AI could analyze tens of thousands without pause. It didn't grow tired, it didn't rely on assumptions, it searched for patterns, signals that repeated, signals that stood out from the chaotic chorus of the deep ocean. This approach revolutionized deep-sea acoustics. The AI parsed the Mariana Trench's soundscape like a database, detecting structures as within the noise that human ears would have missed. It could isolate repeating rhythms, remove irrelevant background interference, and spot audio fingerprints potentially linked to marine life. Then came the breakthrough. Scientists began overlaying historical whale sightings with the AI's logs of the Biot twang. They had years of observer data, when and where bride's whales had been seen. The AI cross-referenced this with moments when the sound was recorded. In 90% of those cases, the twang appeared alongside bride's whales. For the first time, the mystery sound had a face. The eerie, twisting echo from the abyss belonged not to a ghost or unknown monster, but to a real, living species. It was a triumph of data, of machines, of persistence. The Biot twang wasn't an anomaly. It was communication. And AI had given it context, identity, and meaning. The bride's whale revelation. The revelation shocked scientists. Bride's whales are medium-sized baleen whales, common in tropical and subtropical oceans. They've been studied for decades, and their calls were thought to be well documented. Yet the Biot twang had never been cataloged. It was unique, distinct, and puzzling. Unlike the long, melodic songs of other baleen whales, this call unfolded in 5 precise parts. It began with a deep moan, climbed through shifting tones, and ended with a sharp, almost metallic twang, reaching thousands of hertz. The pattern was structured, deliberate, a communication style unlike anything previously recorded in bride's populations. Researchers began to suspect regional dialects. Just as human communities develop accents, isolated whale populations may evolve their own vocal signatures. The bride's whales near the Mariana Trench might have developed this distinctive call to navigate, attract mates, or communicate in the abyssal environment. This discovery answered one question, but raised countless others. Why do these whales use such a peculiar rhythm here, in the trench's extreme and isolated conditions? What is the exact purpose of the twang? Mating, navigation, or something more complex we cannot yet comprehend? Even familiar species, once thought understood, still held secrets. The Biot twang reminded scientists that the ocean is a living archive, and even routine creatures may carry mysteries shaped by the depths they inhabit. The hidden alien world. While attention focused on whales, an even stranger discovery awaited in the trench's mud. Researchers from Shanghai Jiao Tong University and Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory analyzed the sediment's microbial life, and what they found was staggering. Nearly 90% of species were previously unknown to science. Almost 9 out of 10 organisms had never been documented. The team processed over 1,100 sediment samples and analyzed more than 92 terabases of genetic data, creating one of the largest deep ocean genetic surveys ever conducted. The results painted a picture more alien than many parts of outer space. While telescopes reveal planets, stars, and asteroids, these microbes had remained hidden beneath Earth's surface, thriving unseen for millennia. These organisms defied traditional life strategies. With no sunlight to fuel photosynthesis, they extract energy from chemical reactions in Earth's crust. Some fix nitrogen, others recycle sulfur, sustaining the deep ecosystem. Life here operates in ways unimaginable on the surface, demonstrating resilience and adaptability on an extreme scale. The implications stretch beyond our oceans. If microbes can survive crushing pressure, near freezing water, and eternal darkness, perhaps life could exist on moons or planets where sunlight never reaches. the trench has become a living laboratory, showing that the limits of biology are far wider than previously thought, and hinting that alien life may not be as improbable as we imagine. Evolution's repeated answer. The Mariana Trench doesn't just host strange life, it reveals patterns in how evolution solves extreme problems. Researchers studying deep-sea genetics noticed something remarkable. Unrelated species often evolve identical strategies to survive the crushing pressures. Snailfish and amphipods, for example, are from completely different branches of the animal tree, yet both develop the same molecular solution, trimethylamine N-oxide, or TMAO. This compound stabilizes proteins that would otherwise collapse under the weight of thousands of meters of water. By producing high levels of TMAO, these animals maintain cellular function in an environment where almost nothing else can survive. Scientists call this convergent evolution, different species independently arriving at the same solution. It's like evolution pressing the same piano keys on separate instruments, producing the same music despite distance and ancestry. This pattern is more than a curiosity. It suggests that life has limited options when confronted with extreme conditions. The paths to survival are predictable, even universal. If pressure, cold, and darkness shape life this way on Earth, similar rules may apply on other worlds. Alien life under extreme conditions could rely on the same biochemical tricks. The trench becomes a mirror of survival, showing how biology adapts under limits. Forms may vary, but the solutions repeat. In this abyss, evolution writes the same answers over and over, proof that life finds a way, even in the most unyielding environments. Engineering life under pressure. Life in the Mariana Trench is a masterclass in natural engineering. Take snailfish. Their soft, nearly transparent bodies bend under pressure instead of breaking. Their cell membranes and gelatinous tissue flex like living shock absorbers, allowing movement where rigid structures would fail. Amphipods, tiny crustaceans, take a different approach. Their proteins resist collapse under immense pressure, and antioxidants protect their cells from stress-induced damage. Even Bride's whales, which occasionally dive into these depths, carry specialized adaptations. Their muscles store extraordinary amounts of oxygen, letting them sustain long dives, while their tissues adjust to shifting pressures as they move between surface and deep waters. These adaptations aren't just curiosities, they're lessons. Deep-sea protein stability can inspire biotechnology that withstands harsh industrial conditions. Antioxidant systems hint at ways to protect human cells from stress and damage. Even materials science can learn from the flexible, resilient structures honed by millions of years of evolution. In every sense, the trench is a living blueprint of resilience. It shows how life survives crushing force, freezing temperatures, and near-total darkness. Each organism is both a survivor and an engineer, offering insights that could reshape technology, medicine, and our understanding of life itself. Pollution at the world's end. Despite its remoteness, the Mariana Trench is not untouched by humans. Researchers studying amphipods more than 11 kilometers deep discovered traces of industrial chemicals in their bodies, PCBs and PBDEs, substances banned decades ago for their toxicity. Yet, here they were, carried silently to the planet's most isolated corner. The culprits are marine snow and microplastics. Tiny fragments of plastic and particles of waste drift from the surface, sinking slowly through the water column. They accumulate in the trench, entering the food web as small organisms ingest them, then passing up the chain to larger predators. In some cases, contamination levels in trench animals exceed those of species living near industrial rivers. The trench functions as a sinkhole for pollution. What enters the ocean eventually settles in its depths, embedding human impact into even the most extreme ecosystems. The pristine wilderness once imagined is now a silent witness to humanity's reach. It's a stark reminder: no place on Earth, however remote, escapes our footprint. Even at the world's end, human influence lingers. The trench, once a realm of pure mystery, now tells a darker story, a cautionary tale of how far pollution travels and how lasting its effects can be on life in the deep. The Mariana Trench whispers secrets of life, mystery, and warning. From the ghostly Biot twang of Bride's whales to alien microbes thriving in eternal darkness, and even the traces of human pollution sinking to unimaginable depths. It reminds us that discovery never ends. This abyss is more than a geological feature. It's a mirror of biology, evolution, and our impact on the planet. Each signal, each organism, each molecule tells a story, stories of survival, adaptation, and consequence. The trench holds lessons not just about Earth, but about life across the universe, and the fragile balance of our own environment. Exploration continues. The depths are vast, the mysteries many, and the warnings clear. The Mariana Trench remains a frontier of wonder, challenge, and revelation, waiting for the next curious mind to listen, observe, and uncover what lies in the darkness. If these stories moved you, remember, the final frontier is still here, and the ocean is calling.